Sagittarius, don't scroll. Not because I'm asking, but because something far greater is. The universe, destiny, the force that's been quietly aligning your entire life behind the scenes, is whispering your name right now. And if you're hearing this, it's not random. This is your confirmation. You were meant to arrive right here in this exact moment. You see, they laughed. They underestimated your silence. They dismissed your kindness as weakness. And they truly believed you'd never rise again. But here's the truth they never saw coming. The last laugh belongs to the one who waited. Sagittarius, you didn't fight dirty. You didn't chase. You simply grew, quietly, spiritually. And now, the winds are shifting in your favor. Can you feel it? The dreams that linger, the chills for no reason, the sudden urge to detach from people who once meant everything. This is not a coincidence. This is alignment. The universe is preparing to deliver a moment so powerful, so irreversible that every person who doubted your worth will witness your rise with awe or regret. And this video, it's not just another message. It's your invitation to step into a chapter that only opens once every 12 years. But listen carefully, because what comes next will reveal the deeper truth why they laughed first, but you, Sagittarius, will laugh last. Now, let me show you why everything they did to break you was actually preparing you for the loudest comeback of your life. Part 1. They laughed first, but destiny took notes. They laughed, Sagittarius. Oh, how they laughed. When you chose the quiet path instead of revenge, when you walked away instead of explaining yourself, when you protected your peace instead of proving your point. To them, it looked like weakness. To the untrained eye, it looked like you gave up. But what they didn't understand is that Sagittarius never moves without purpose. You were never surrendering. You were observing. You were aligning. You were remembering who you are. You see, the fire in Sagittarius doesn't burn recklessly. It waits. It listens. It studies the terrain. And then when the moment is right, it rises with a light so undeniable, even your enemies go blind in its presence. They laughed first, but destiny took notes. They mocked your sensitivity. They told others you were too much or too dramatic. They twisted your loyalty into naivety, your optimism into delusion. But what they didn't know was that your silence was sacred. You weren't retreating, you were being protected. Because Sagittarius doesn't strike when provoked, they strike when aligned. And now the alignment has begun. For the past months, maybe even years, you've felt it building. That quiet pull in your chest. That unshakable sense that something is coming, that the universe has been rearranging everything behind the scenes, even your pain, into a perfect storm of return. Every betrayal, every dismissal, every moment you were overlooked. They didn't break you, they forged you. Because here's what the world forgets, Sagittarius doesn't need validation. Sagittarius becomes the proof. You survived without their applause. You healed without their closure. You grew without their permission. And now that growth, that truth, that fire, it's about to become your loudest answer. So to everyone who called you too emotional, to the ones who ghosted you, betrayed you, doubted you, replaced you, you don't need to confront them. Life will do it for you. Karma has perfect timing. And Sagittarius, your moment is arriving. Life lesson. Part 1. Sometimes the best revenge is no revenge at all. Sometimes it's your silence that speaks the loudest. And sometimes the universe removes you from the room, not because you weren't worthy to be there, but because your glow was never meant to be dimmed in front of people who can't handle your fire. Have you ever been misunderstood for staying silent? Comment below if this message feels like it was written for you. Let the universe know you're still standing. Because next Sagittarius, I'm going to name them. The exact types of people who once underestimated you and why they're about to witness a version of you they'll never be able to reach again. Part 2, who they were and why they'll watch you rise. You can feel it, can't you? That strange pressure around certain people, the silent tension in rooms that once felt comfortable, the subtle shifts in energy, eye contact, and conversations. Because the universe is doing what it always promised, exposing the ones who once played with your light. And Sagittarius, the first ones to feel your rise, will be the very people who once buried your name under doubt. The ones who once labeled you naive. The ones who thought they could lie to you, manipulate your fire, or make you small so they could feel bigger. These people watched your journey and laughed behind closed doors. But here's what they forgot. Sagittarius never forgets energy. We may forgive, but we don't unfeel. You saw through them long before they even realized they were performing. You knew who was fake, who only clapped when they were winning, who smiled but secretly hoped you'd fall. And now they're about to witness your glow up from the outside looking in. Let's name them, shall we? The X. The one who left you questioning your worth, who chose someone else, who thought they'd moved on to something better. They're the first to feel it, not your revenge or absence, because you're no longer accessible. You're no longer waiting. You've become someone they can't reach, can't manipulate, can't explain anymore. And the silence you gave them, it's echoing now, loudly. Then the jealous coworkers, the ones who downplayed your talents, the ones who gossiped behind your back, competed in secret, sabotaged in subtle ways. They're watching as the very people they try to impress start to notice you, not because you shouted, but because your authenticity is magnetic. Because real light doesn't need to scream, it just shines. And yes, even family. The ones who called your dreams unrealistic. The ones who said you were too impulsive, too passionate, too much. They're about to realize you weren't too much. You were too powerful for their limited imagination. And when the blessings arrive, when the elevation unfolds, they'll fall silent. Not in shame, but in realization that you were never delusional. You were always divinely aligned. And the irony, many of them will come back, curious, awakened, not because they suddenly love you, but because they finally recognize what they lost. But by then, Sagittarius, you'll be standing on a level they'll never access again, and the version of you they once tried to dim will be long gone. Because evolution doesn't reverse, and those who once laughed will now whisper your name with a mixture of regret, respect, and confusion. How did they miss it? How didn't they see it? You were never meant to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding themselves. You were meant to rise exactly like this. Life lesson part 2. The people who couldn't love you in your rawest form don't deserve to witness your refined power. Let them go. Let them watch. Because your glow up isn't for revenge. It's the natural result of finally choosing yourself. Have you ever had someone return not out of love, but out of realization? Share your story below. Let someone else know they're not alone. And now, Sagittarius, comes the confirmation, the signs the universe sends when your karmic moment is about to unfold. The symbols, numbers, dreams, and gut feelings that aren't just coincidences, they're cosmic signals. And if you've been feeling them lately, you're not imagining anything. Let's decode them together. Part 3, the signs were never random. You're being called, Sagittarius. The signs have been there. Whispers in your dreams, chills in the middle of calm days. A memory you didn't ask for showing up again and again like it's trying to say something. And you've asked yourself, is this real or am I just imagining it? Let me answer that for you. It's real, very real. Because before your timeline shifts, the universe sends confirmations, not warnings, invitations. And if you've been seeing repeating numbers, vivid dreams, or feeling sudden disconnection from people and places, then you're not broken, you're being prepared. Let's begin with the numbers. When you see 1111, it's not a coincidence. It's the gate opening. It means something new is forming and old energy is being cleared. It's the universe whispering, get ready. What was once blocked is now being unlocked. When 12 and 21 appears, it's a mirror, a reflection. It says what you thought was lost will return. What was taken will be restored, and what was broken will be reassembled in a way that feels like destiny finally remembering your name. And 144, that number carries weight. It's not just alignment, it's protection. It means your angels are walking beside you. It's the confirmation that even in your silence, your spirit has been guarded, and now it's being promoted. Then there are the dreams. You've been seeing people you haven't spoken to in years, old heartbreaks, faces you tried to forget, places you never revisited until they showed up in your sleep. These aren't memories, they're echoes, signals that karma is now doing what it always does, returning what's been sent out. And if someone who hurt you has reappeared in your dream recently, don't panic, don't reach out. That doesn't mean they're coming back into your life. It means their energy is leaving yours. Because when karma closes the cycle, the soul feels it first. Now let's talk about that strange detachment you felt. You used to care deeply. Now, the same people don't move you. The same conversations feel like noise. You don't hate them, you just don't belong in that energy anymore. That Sagittarius is elevation. It's your spirit recognizing that your vibration has changed. And when your soul rises, anything below, it begins to fall away. Not as a punishment, but as a realignment. And what about those random flashes of clarity? You looked at someone and suddenly you saw them. Not their smile, not their words, but their patterns, their intentions, their fear. No evidence, no proof, just a knowing. That's your Sagittarian intuition sharper than ever during this karmic window. You're not imagining these things, you're awakening to them. And just when you start to question it all, the universe gives you more. White feathers in strange places, coins where they shouldn't be, sudden flickers of light in your peripheral vision. These are signs of presence from ancestors, from guides, from your higher self telling you you're not alone. Because you never were. Life Lesson Part 3. Not all signs come with explanations. Some come with vibration, a shift in your bones, a truth in your chest. And if you trust those moments, even when they don't make sense, you unlock doors no one else can see. Have you been seeing these signs lately? Numbers, dreams, emotions that don't match your logic. Comment your experience. You might just help someone else realize they're not crazy either. And now Sagittarius comes the most powerful part of all. Why you're feeling all of this now, why everything from your pain to your pause has been leading to this exact cosmic shift. It's not random, it's written. And in the next part, I'll show you how Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, and your ruling planet Jupiter are aligning to rewrite your entire story. Prepare yourself, because what's coming is bigger than healing. It's transformation. Part 4. The cosmic storm isn't coming. It's here. Sagittarius, when the sky shifts, your soul feels it first. And right now, the sky above you is not just shifting, it's aligning in ways that haven't occurred in over a decade. This isn't just an emotional season, it's a destiny correction. And 4 forces, Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, and Jupiter, are rewriting the contract you made with the universe. Let's begin with Pluto. Pluto doesn't ask, it invades. It doesn't suggest, it transforms. Right now, Pluto is standing in direct opposition to your sun or to your ascendant, depending on your chart. This is the ultimate reversal, the moment where the powerless become powerful and truth becomes inescapable. Pluto digs through shadows. It lifts veils. It doesn't expose for drama. It exposes for justice. The lies that were told about you, they're cracking. The people who thought they got away with it, Pluto is pulling them back into the light, and you don't have to say a word. Now comes Neptune, and this one has been playing with illusions for years. Neptune rules the dreams, the fog, the fantasies. But when Neptune goes retrograde, illusions collapse. What you thought was love becomes manipulation. What you thought was loyalty becomes control. What you thought was your fault suddenly reveals itself as projection. Sagittarius, if you've been waking up to truths that make your stomach drop, that's Neptune showing you what your heart always knew. It's not paranoia, it's prophecy. And then there is Saturn, the great karmic judge. Saturn is the planet no one escapes. It governs cause and consequence, truth and timing. And when Saturn goes retrograde, karma doesn't delay, it delivers. Everything that was done to you in silence, every word spoken behind your back, every energy that wished you harm, is now being recalibrated. And you're being vindicated not by revenge, but by rightness. Saturn doesn't reward noise, it rewards integrity. Which brings us to the most powerful of them all, Jupiter, your ruling planet, the guardian of truth, the bringer of abundance. And right now, Jupiter is shifting into a placement that unlocks divine protection, expansion, recognition, and restoration. Everything you've planted in darkness, every quiet effort, every unacknowledged gift, every pure intention is now being amplified. Jupiter rewards those who stayed faithful, not to others, but to their own light. And beneath all of these transits, the nodes of fate are creating what astrologers call a destiny inversion, a portal where timelines flip, where what was lost comes back, where what was stolen is returned, where what was broken becomes your most sacred strength. You've likely already seen it. Opportunities that once slipped away now reappear. People who dismissed you now return confused. Even parts of you, your courage, your clarity, your confidence are resurfacing. Sagittarius, this is not a coincidence. This is karma. This is justice. This is your birthright returning. Life Lesson Part 4. When you stay loyal to your own evolution, even when no one claps, even when you're laughed at, left behind, or doubted, you become unstoppable. because blessings built in silence don't crumble under noise. Have you felt these planetary shifts? Moments of clarity, exposure, release with no explanation. Tell your story below. You're not alone in this transformation. And now comes the part no one prepared you for. Not the betrayal, not the struggle, but what happens after the storm clears, when your glow becomes undeniable, when the same people who wrote you off come back with new eyes. In the next part, I'll show you why this isn't revenge, it's rebirth, and why your rise will be the greatest prophecy they never saw coming. Part 5, this isn't revenge, this is rebirth. Let's make something clear. This isn't about proving anything to anyone, not anymore. This isn't about making them see what they lost. This isn't about showing them who you've become, because the truth is, they were never the audience. They were the catalyst. Sagittarius, your transformation was never meant to be a show. It was meant to be a resurrection. You didn't come here to win arguments. You came here to become untouchable. You didn't survive all that pain just to clap back at those who caused it. You survived it to evolve beyond the version of you they had access to. That's not revenge. That's rebirth. You're no longer chasing explanations. You're no longer hoping they understand. You're no longer waiting for apologies that may never come. Why? Because you understand now. The people who laughed when you were hurting, the ones who left betrayed, overlooked, disrespected, they were part of the old timeline. And you, Sagittarius, you no longer live there. They laughed at the version of you that was still healing. They dismissed the version of you that was still discovering their power. They doubted the version of you that still needed validation. But you've outgrown all three. The version of you now doesn't explain, doesn't perform, doesn't seek permission to rise. And here's the beautiful twist. The louder you rise, the quieter they'll get. Not because you silence them, but because your presence alone reveals everything they tried to deny. Because healing, when done fully, makes noise. Not through words, but through results. Life lesson part 5. The most powerful version of you doesn't fight to be seen. It simply walks in whole, undeniable, and the room shifts. That is what you're becoming. That is what they never saw coming. Have you outgrown someone who once had power over you? Do you feel like you're no longer in the same timeline as they are? Comment below, I don't need to prove anything. I already became everything. And now, Sagittarius, if you're still here, if your heart carried you through every word of this message, then listen carefully. Because what I'm about to say isn't just an ending, it's a prophecy. And it belongs only to those who were meant to rise from silence. Let's close this together. Final conclusion, the prophecy was never about them, it was always you. Sagittarius, if you're still here, if your soul carried you through every part of this message, then hear me now and hear me with your heart, not your mind. You were never watching this by accident. You didn't land here because of an algorithm. You arrived here because you were summoned, not by me, not by a video, but by something older, something higher, something ancient that remembered your name long before you forgot your power. The universe doesn't send messages this precise to the unready. If you're still here, it means you are one of the few who were chosen for awakening, the few who were built for reversal, the few who were meant to walk silently through fire and rise without bitterness, only brilliance. This is not about karma catching them, it's about destiny catching you. You were loyal in silence, you were faithful in the dark, you healed without applause, and now your rise will be undeniable. Baba Vanga once said, blessings arrive for those who waited with a faithful heart, and light finds those who stayed gentle in the dark. Sagittarius, your blessings are not coming. They're already here. Your glow-up will not be subtle. Your elevation will not be hidden. And the people who once wrote you off will become the silent witnesses to your prophecy. Nostradamus wrote, the ones who suffered long in silence will be lifted first. Sagittarius, you are being lifted now. But there is something powerful you must do to anchor this energy into your reality. Not just hear this, claim it. Say it, write it, declare it. In the comments below, type I claim my victory, because every comment is not just engagement, it's intention. It's a signal to the universe that says, I am ready, I accept, I step into my light. Every comment plants a seed, every share passes the light forward, every like strengthens the timeline you just activated. So don't let this moment pass like they did. Don't scroll like they did. Don't stay silent like you once did. This is your time. Claim it, own it, walk in it, and if you feel this message vibrating in your chest, then know this. Your last laugh has already been written, and Sagittarius, they'll never see it coming. And if this message spoke to your soul, if it echoed something you couldn't quite explain but always felt, then this is your space. This is your confirmation, and this is just the beginning. Subscribe to the Sagittarius Flame so you never miss another message meant for your awakening. This channel isn't about prediction, it's about remembrance of who you are, of what you carry, and why you were chosen. Because every time you listen, you light your own flame a little brighter. So stay close, more is coming. And the universe always speaks loudest to those who choose to listen.